Happy Saturday, YouTube. So I wanted to bring this video to you guys. This video is regarding a House rep in Indiana. Her name is Victoria. I believe the way you pronounce her last name is Sparse. And Victoria is a MAGA candidate. She loves Donald Trump. She is a Ukrainian woman, but she's such in a MAGA camp. She literally voted against funding for Ukraine. So she's like a huge MAGA person, and apparently she had a town hall. She had a town hall, and these Republican town halls are literally like dissolving into like straight chaos. The minute Doge is mentioned, the minute the federal workers being laid off is mentioned, people are like really upset, and people are like kind of giving it to their House reps. And so Victoria had a town hall, and she was once while she was running, because of course they love their constituents while they're running. So when she was running, she was a person that seemed to like really represent her constituents. She would take pictures with them. You would see her in town halls answering a lot of questions. Her tune has changed, because in this town hall, her constituents was basically letting her know that they're really displeased and they're unhappy with how the administration is going. And so I'm going to show you guys the clip. You know what, I'm going to put the clip in the beginning of the video, so you should have already seen the clip. And this is just another one of these town halls that's kind of like just really going off the rails. And here's the thing. Right now, Republicans, I've heard Scott Jennings say it. I've heard another Republican kind of spokesperson or pundit or commentator or whatever. They've been basically pushing the narrative that these are like paid actors, these are really Democrats, and this is all orchestrated by the Democratic Party. First of all, I think that explanation is so disingenuous. Like, it's so, the thing about Donald Trump and the MAGA movement that I think is going to be the most detrimental to this republic is the fact that people are now just saying things are not real if they don't agree with them. And I think that is detrimental to the country. I think it's detrimental to truth, transparency, all of those things, because the ideal is if I don't like something, it's not real. The minute I don't agree with something, I don't like it, then it's just not real. And that is very, very dangerous, very dangerous. And so I've seen people like Scott Jennings basically say these are Democrats, they're actors. Regardless, even if you want to go with the narrative, they're still Americans apparently, like, right? So is it going to go from these are Democrats to they're foreigners, or like, what is going to be the next step? Because they're Americans, and maybe just if I want to kind of play their game and go with their narrative, what if they are people who were once Democrats, but they voted for Donald Trump? Because you guys love to tout Republicans, people that are Republican leaning love to tout the fact that Donald Trump got more people that were, people that were not politically engaged voted for Donald Trump, people that really don't care about politics at all, people that were more left-leaning, people voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, unfortunately, got like more of the black vote. So even if they are people who normally lean to the left, they could have been people who voted for Donald Trump, and now they're displeased with how his administration is going. Or maybe they're just Americans who did vote for Donald Trump and did support the Republican Party, and now they're unhappy. So it's just, to me, it's so disingenuous to keep pushing that narrative that these are paid actors or they're Democrats or whatever the case. It's happening on the Democratic side as well. Like, the town halls are basically getting really rowdy and going off the rails, but it's more so happening on the Republican side. I think I've seen one example of it happening on the Democratic side. And then we know that Bernie and AOC just had that huge rally. I understand that they were basically speaking to their base, but people are still coming out to support them and not necessarily yell at them. So we had one instance where it happened to a Democrat, and I think this is probably like the 4th or 5th time I've seen it at Republican town halls. So that messaging and that narrative is so disingenuous, and I just think the Republican Party needs to, because it seems like they're sending their surrogates out there to say that, and they need to stop doing that. And so this just was another example with Victoria, with the House rep from Indiana. This is another example where their constituents are waking up and seeing what's going on, and they're unhappy. Here's another thing, and I made a video about this. I believe a lot of these people knew exactly what they were voting for. They were just voting for it to happen to other people. And so now that it's happening to them, it's the reason that it's so problematic. Because the one thing I will say, I am no fan of Donald Trump at all. None, zero, no fan of this man at all. But people knew what he was about. They knew what he was about. They knew what he was saying. He was talking about retribution. He was saying stupid shit like they're eating cats and dogs. They knew what he was about. They just didn't think these negative things were going to happen to them. So now we're seeing these town halls and everybody's pissed off because in these ruby red states, like Indiana, I live in Illinois. So if the GOP, the Republicans want to just kind of push this narrative like, oh, what happened in Indiana was like these Democratic actors or whatever, Indiana is very red. It's very red. Take it from someone who lives in Illinois. Indiana is red. It's red. So unless you're going to start saying that people are being bussed in, I don't know where they're going to go with that justification, or where, oh no, it's just Democrats or whatever. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to try to take it. But what I will say is Indiana is red. So if those people really live in that town, more than likely they were Republican, that were like pissed off at Victoria. So they can cut it with that narrative. But I just think that it's disingenuous to push that argument anyway. I think people like Republican constituents, I believe they are unhappy because things are negatively affecting them. And now they're seeing what Donald Trump is all about, and it's more about class than race for him. Like, he don't care about poor white people either. I'm not exactly sure why they think that. So I just wanted to show you guys this clip regarding this town hall with Victoria. And like I said, she's a MAGA person. She's 100% MAGA. She's all about MAGA, and even she's being yelled at these town halls. So the Republican Party needs to do something about that, because if things keep going the way that it's going, the midterms is going to show everything. So, but yeah, I just wanted to bring this video to you guys. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.